Hi everyone, thank you for joining. I'm Karen from Online Healing Community and welcome to your webinar. It's called Here and Now, The Road to Happiness. And your facilitator and the speaker for today is Michelle Brandy. Michelle Brandy is a spiritual counselor, spiritual hypnotherapist, and she also studied NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And she has this page on Facebook. It's called Spiritual Hypnotherapy by Michelle Brandy. And her goal is really, it's interesting. It's good that all of you are here. Again. What Michelle does is she helps clients rediscover their true selves and reconnect to God's love. She believes that integrating the psycho, emotional, spiritual aspects of human development is important to be happy, at peace, and well. And she shares her life teachings through speaking engagements, private one-on-one sessions, and personal wellness workshops. So thank you for doing this webinar, Michelle.
Well, I'm honored to be here. All right. Okay, let me know if we're going to start now.
Yeah, we can start. And everybody will just follow na lang.
Okay.
Yes, we can start.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. So our topic for this webinar is here and now. This is all about being in the moment, being present, and being aware and mindful. If we are in this state of mind or in this state or in this space, it will lead us to inner peace and happiness, which is our natural state. Okay, so Karen already gave an introduction of who I am and what I do, but I really align to being called a teacher and a counselor. There's no frills, there's nothing. It's as simple as that. Teaching makes me happy. I teach at a local university here in Manila, and I teach at the undergrad level. They're young adolescents. Most of them are lost, confused. Most of them don't know why they are in their program. But one thing I love about these children, these teens, is that they're very grounded. They find happiness wherever they can, whenever they can. And that's what I love about teaching. It's more of the interaction between the students and I. And of course, being a counselor, um, I've been doing this since 2012, but I started on a voluntary basis. It was only 3 years ago that I started to um, charge for counseling services. And what I love about counseling is that I get to know not just an individual, but also their families. Because I also have background in um, relationship counseling and family counseling. So it's really, really fun and diverse to get to know each family because everyone has their own dynamics. And it's beautiful to see sometimes, the quirks, the weirdness of the family traditions, but you're thriving in it. And what's important is the love, right? Okay, so, all right. Before I start with this webinar, I'd like to do a short clearing meditation. The clearing meditation is it would bring us into a space wherein um, there are no disturbances. We're clearing, we're asking for our guides, our angels, and the higher beings of light to be with us during this time. And every time I would be talking about certain subjects, if it relates to you, if you are able to resonate with it, your guides and angels will be giving you blessings as well. Um, so this is the space that I'd want all of us to be in, to be in this safe space and to be in the space of awakening and blessings, of course. Okay? So I'd like to invite everyone to, sit comfortably. Try to be as silent and still as you can. You may close your eyes and put your hands on top of your knees or thighs. Just do the palms up, or if you're a regular meditator, you may place wherever your hand is comfortable. All right. So take deep breaths in and out. I'd like everyone drop into their hearts, to open their heart space. As you take deep breaths in, you're breathing in fresh, clean energies. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out all the tensions, all the frustrations, and everything negative that is not serving you at this moment. So as you take deep breaths in, you're breathing in fresh, new energies. And as you breathe out, you're releasing, letting go of all attachments, guilt, shame, doubts, anxiety. Just let it go. Allow the breath. Allow the breath to be a cleansing mechanism. Just focus on the breath entering your body, moving into each cell, each muscle, each system within the body. Allow the breath of life to bring in all these positive energies. And as you feel the tension dissolving, as you feel the contaminations and any impurities disintegrating, allow your heart to open up more. Feel that light, that warm light shining from deep within your heart. And as you open your heart, feel the grace of God, feel the grace of the universe, Source God, Creator, that supreme consciousness, to bring its grace into our pillar of light, entering from the top of our heads down to our feet. So just allow this beautiful healing energy from the universe, from the heavens, to pour down into your space. Bringing in so much healing, protection, and abundance. And just allow yourself to receive, to accept the grace, the glory, this pure divine light. And as you accept, allow these energies to anchor deep within your space, deep within your body. And it is done. Amen, amen, amen. Anytime you're ready, you may open your eyes. You may wiggle your fingers, move your toes, ground and center yourself back into your body, feeling wide awake, fully alert, and ready to listen. Hope everyone is feeling well right now. That should clear a lot of your thoughts. All right. So I chose this picture because I resonate with it so much. Um, I know we have males in this webinar, but I am sure you could also relate to this when there's just so many things that you have to do and it's hard to keep up with all of it. When there's a lot of things that's going on, it's hard to concentrate, it's hard to focus, and your thoughts are constantly running from one thing to the next. One thing that you have to finish, then another thing that you have to finish. It's quite exhausting because you're just thinking of the same things over and over again, and the only difference is that the only difference would be the scenarios or the what ifs or um, what I could have done or what I could do. It's really draining for the energy, and it's not surprising if you would feel tired or you just want to escape life, just like to sleep it off or shut down. Um, there are times when people also feel so restless and agitated. It's quite normal when we have a lot of roles and responsibilities to play that it can get quite frustrating and nerve-wracking. And there are times when there's just so many things to do, we don't know where to start. So we feel stuck and helpless. So all of these, I I encountered these with my counselees, with the people that I've talked to. And you're not alone. Even I would experience these things. Um, there's also the worries, the anxiety, the doubts that I have. So we are not alone. And the thing is, when we are going through these things, it's important to put a smile into our face. When we force a smile in our face, the physical body gives a message to your emotional body that everything is going to be okay and you'd feel okay because that's the way it works. Um, your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body, and spiritual body are all interrelated. So if we smile, which is part of the physical body, that gives out the message to the entire body that we're okay. We can go through this. So there's really nothing to worry about. Even if the mind is telling you a lot of things, don't think about it because don't let yourself be identified with your thoughts. A lot of our thoughts are not real. A lot of our thoughts are deceiving. And it takes for a very aware and mindful person to know it. Because if you're not aware, um, you'll be trampled by your thoughts. And it would be so hard to pull yourself up back again. So be aware what is real and what is not real. You need to practice that discernment so that you would know, right? So despite having all these things that we have to do around us, despite having such uncertain times um, right now, just smile because that's the first step in making yourself feel better. Right? This is my philosophy in life. This is my basic tenet in life. And I'd like to share it with you. It's really important for all of us to have clarity, inner peace, to transform, and to prosper. When I talk about clarity, it's being mindful, being aware of who we are and what we are. We are clear with our thoughts, we are clear with our emotions, we are clear with the patterns of thoughts that we have, the patterns of behavior that we have. We are clear, we are mindful of our body, our physical bodies, and even the consciousness that we have. So when we talk about clarity, this is really about mindfulness, being aware of the self. And the self has a lot of components. Those are your thoughts, which is in the mind, your emotions coming from the heart, your physical body, your let's say any diseases, ailments, illnesses, or if you're feeling really well, that's part of your physical body and your consciousness. So if you're pure, if okay, our natural state is happiness and peace. That is our beingness. But if you're in a state of constant worry, constant anxiety, then your consciousness shifts. There is fear in your consciousness. There is lack in your consciousness. Because if you believe that you're in a consciousness of thriving or in a consciousness of flourishing, you wouldn't even think about lacking things. You wouldn't even think of fear because everything is being provided. So you have to be aware of the kind of consciousness, the kind of mindset, the mentality that you have, that you carry with you, because it doesn't only affect your own person, it also affects the people around you. So if you have a partner, or if you have your children with you, or if you are very active in your community, if your consciousness is not high, the vibration is not high, then there is a chance that you can contaminate other people with your negativity. So be very aware of who you are and what you are. That is where clarity um, comes in. And inner peace, this is something really very important for me, because every time I talk to my counselees or talk to my students, I always make sure that they leave with a peace of mind, with a sense of happiness in their hearts, because it's important to uplift other people. I don't like it when I get to talk to someone and I leave that person feeling negative. There's just something about me that wants to uplift, and it's a gift that I've accepted. Um, it's something that every one of us should also um, have, because we're all made up of light. We have that God spark in us. We are part of source, and we since we are part of source, we carry that little spark of source within us. And having that little spark of source means that we are pure light as well. And our light can touch other people's lives. If I can make someone smile, even for just a minute, then I know that I have done my work. So we have to be conscious of who we are and what roles we have to play. And I know it's difficult at times um, to not be contaminated by the negativity of other people. But with constant vigilance and constant protection, prayers, then we can protect ourselves. And in fact, we can shine our light so that other people would be happier, would have that peace. And you know, that inner peace really begins with the self. Once you have acknowledged and accepted all your weaknesses and strengths, you have acknowledged your past, whether it's a mistake or something good that you've done, you've acknowledged all of that, you would come into peace. And when you are also aware that you are part of source God and you see the God spark in another person's eyes, you'd feel that life would be definitely lighter. And that's where peace and happiness would come in. Now, clarity and inner peace are the two seeds that you would need to transform and to prosper. Now, the word transform and to prosper, these are verbs, right? I use verbs because this is an invitation for us to take action, because we always have a concept of our best selves. We have these thoughts of this is me version 1, but there is this desire to be version 2 or version 3. But with our habitual tendencies, with the pattern of behavior that we have, or the pattern of thought that we have, the pattern of emotions that we have, there are times when it's really hard to break the programming and conditionings that we have. And the only way to break those programmings and conditionings is really to take action. So this is an invitation for you to take action if you already know your heart's desires. Because as you take action, that's the only time that you can actually transform your life, transform into the person that you want to be, transform into the best self that you could ever be. And as you transform into that life, into that reality, because we are co creators of this life, then we prosper. And it's not just about prospering financially, it's prospering in terms of health, in terms of relationships as well. Because when we are okay, when we are very mindful of who we are and what we are, tendency is we will have an impact to the lives of other people. And when we have this influence in the life of other people, we will prosper. It's a natural result of being in this awakened space, of having this higher consciousness, of being in in this space of happiness and peace, that we are taking deliberate action, that we are in as Abraham Hicks would say, we're in the vortex of miracles. Everything is possible. So this is when we can prosper and manifest our heart's desires. So this is my philosophy in life. And I'm sharing this with you because I want this philosophy to be replicated to every person that I talk to. It gives profound happiness in me to share this to you. And if some of these would resonate with you, then I'm happy. I am happy to be here and sharing this with you. All right. For this webinar, I'm going to give you some tips and techniques on how to be present, fully present. Um, Being aware and being mindful, that would lead you to just enjoying the moment at all time and being grateful. And that's the most important thing. Sometimes it can be simple. Well, the tips and techniques that I can give are all simple, but the simple things, well, we all know that it's not as easy as we want it to be, because we're going against our habits, our tendencies, our programmings, our conditionings. So, but it takes a lot of deliberate effort, deliberate intention, deliberate actions to really break those. And if you have break those conditionings that you have, even if it's just a small thing, that's a big milestone, that's a big win for you. Right? So, okay, I made this small graph, a simple drawing of the aspects of a human being. Being being this person, being this human person, um, we are a spiritual being living in a human body, experiencing the life of a human. And these are the four bodies that we have. Okay, in other books, in other teachings, you'd have more, but I'd like to keep it simple. So let's just say that we have four bodies, right? It's the physical body. This is what we see. The mental body is the mind. It's composed of our thoughts. And, if a person is very intellectual, that's all mind. The ego is also part of the mind. So that's the mental body. The emotional body, this is where all emotions, all feelings are chunked into. The spiritual body, this is the super consciousness. This is our relationship with God, our our partnership with the divine, how we co-create with the divine, that we are part of source creation. Now, all of these four are interrelated. Okay, they are really interrelated. How is it interrelated? So let's start with the mental body. Okay, Most of my clients, majority of them, they have depression or anxiety. And usually it starts with the mental body. The mental body is, this is where all the thoughts come in. And when the thoughts are unchecked, then it can really cause so much damage to the emotional body, right? So, what are the negative patterns that you have? What are the negative thought patterns that you have that you tell yourself? Because your greatest or harshest critic is yourself. Other people can be nice to you, but you're the you're the worst critic of yourself. So, what are the normal negative thought patterns that you have in your mind? And do you believe them? Because that's the thing. You can have that thought patterns, but then do you believe those thoughts? That's a question. Because if you believe those thoughts and it's negative, it's all negative, then most definitely your emotional body would go down. Um, the energy of your emotions will really drain to the ground. You'd feel depressed, you'd feel sad. And when the energy is quite low, your physical body gets affected for um, unresolved emotional issues. Your physical body gets affected. So some samples would be, um, let's say, someone I know that had thyroid problems. So this person has thyroid problems, and the thing is, it's connected to her mental emotional state because she finds it hard to speak her truth. She always stays silent. So there's that pain inside of her that she could not express, and it's always suppressed and repressed. So it comes out as a as an illness through the physical body because she couldn't release it through her emotions. There's no acknowledgement of it, there's no acceptance of her mental and emotional state. So the physical body has to release it because everything is energy. When negative energy comes into our body, we have to release it. If we don't release it, if we repress and suppress it, it stays stuck in our body and it chooses a particular space in our body. So in the case of um, this girl, it resulted to thyroid problems, hormonal imbalance, simply because she finds it really difficult to speak her mind. So that's the thing. And when the physical body is weak, automatic your spiritual body gets weak as well. That's why during this time of COVID, of this pandemic, everyone is saying that, okay, your immune system has to be up. But if your mental and emotional body is down, how could you maintain your immunity to be up? And if your immunity is down, automatically your aura shield is down. It's so easy to be contaminated with negative energies. So, as you can see, everything is interrelated. And what I would always suggest to my counselors is that you have to choose which one you can target the most. It would be better if you could target all four so that your healing would be holistic and whole. Um, and it's quite natural to to target all four in terms of healing. But if you're not ready for one, then you could choose what works best for you. You could mix and match. Like all right, for the physical body, okay, what can you do to maintain a healthy body? As simple as eating nutritious food, that's one, or getting enough sleep, um, as simple as walking or simple exercises those are things that you can do to maintain or increase the energy of your physical body so that your immunity would be up. Okay? For the mental body, you could do meditation because meditation helps you to become mindful, to be aware of your thoughts. Um, I can share my experience of meditation. I've been meditating for the past 3 years, and what I learned to do is not to identify with the thoughts that enter my mind. There would the mind will always have thoughts coming in and out. That's the normal, that's the natural function of the mind. The mind would always bring in ideas, thoughts, and when the thoughts are painful, that's when we are affected. But because of meditation, I've learned to not identify with the thought. When a thought enters my mind, oh, okay, it's there, then I let it flow out. There's no identification with myself. Those thoughts are just thoughts. Let it come in and let it go out. So that's a simple practice. But with meditation, I can say that the benefits of meditation is different per person. So if in my case meditation work, for some it would be not that easy. So you could start with just 5 minutes or 10 minutes of silence meditation, or just focus on the breath. That's the simplest way that you could do it. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes a day, then so be it. Because as you do it, as you continue to practice it, you will see benefits. And another thing is you have to be aware of what's real and what's not. Okay. The thing here is that there are thoughts that would enter the mind, and because it causes so much pain, a person would identify with that thought so much. It causes havoc into the entire system. Okay. So okay, I am trying to think of examples. I'll get examples from my experiences. Okay. All right. I'll share this to you guys. Um, right now you could see me speaking, and when you hear me speak, you could see that I'm confident, that I'm actually relaxed in doing this. But unknown to you guys, when I was young, I was a shy introvert. It's really hard for me to speak in front of a crowd. If my teacher would ask me to do recitation, it would really make me so nervous. I couldn't even think straight. I get to stutter, and my grammar is all wrong. And it causes so much embarrassment and anxiety. But right now, I'm no longer that person. Okay. But then there are times when certain thoughts would enter my mind, and it would trigger the insecure little girl that I was before. And it takes so much awareness, mindfulness, and discernment to actually know that no, this is no longer me. I refuse to identify to being insecure because I know who I am, I know what I can do, I know my capabilities are, and I will believe in myself. And not a lot of people can actually do that. Um, the most important person who could validate you is only yourself. Only you and God, no one else. Whatever it is that other people would say about you, be it negative or good, no one can validate you. It's only God and you who know who you are. who know your real self, okay? No one else. And so it's a matter of allowing. Will I allow my mind to deceive me into thinking that I'm still that insecure little girl that I was before? Or will I just shrug it off because I don't identify with that thought anymore? So as I realize, as I recognize who I really am, I can shrug off the thoughts that do not align with my concept of self. So that's where a strong mental body comes in, because you control your mind. It's not your mind controlling you. So you have to control your mind. An analogy that I gave to my client before was, if you're going to ride a cab, a taxi, will you just allow the cab driver to drive you all over the city, bring you to those places that you don't really want to go to? Or will you tell him, this is where I want to go. So let's not waste time, not waste gas or anything. Just go straight to where I want to go. Okay? It's like when you leave control to the mind, it's like you giving control to the driver to bring you wherever. Right? So you have to be very aware of who you are so that you will not be affected of the negative thoughts that you have. Now, if you believe the negative thoughts that you have, that's another issue that you have to tackle. You have to ask, is it really true? Is it really real? Because only you can say, only you can judge yourself to be good or bad. Okay? No one else can do it. If you judge yourself to be harsh, then you have to do a little self-care, a little more of self-love so that you can counter it. Okay? Now, when it comes to the emotional body, what can you do to maintain that higher vibration? Emotions are energy in motion. It comes and it goes, right? That's why it's called emotions. It's just energy moving in and out. Now, the thing is, when an emotion enters our space, we have to acknowledge it and honor it, be it a good emotion or a bad emotion. If we're happy, then yes, we acknowledge the happiness and we want to share that happiness to other people. And it's the same way when anger comes into your body, you'd also want to share that anger to everyone, right? Have you ever experienced that when you're so angry and you want everyone around you to be angry as well, to know how you feel, to really empathize with you? Because when you're doing that, you're actually sharing, you're contaminating them with your negative energy. So such is energy. It's just energy moving in motion. These are emotional. This is part of the emotional body. So the thing here is that acknowledge it, accept it. If it's negative, then release it. How do you release it? Um, it's really up to you. You could go out, have a walk around nature, ground yourself, step on the grass, allow the energy to be absorbed by earth, or you could actually, oh, you could actually smile, because when you smile, your physical body would tell your emotional body that things are okay. Or let's say you're feeling really down, you're exhausted, you have no energy left. Try jumping 3 times and see if your energy would go up. Okay? Because everything is energy. You can bring your energy up at will. If you feel down, release it. There are so many ways, but you have to be aware of what will work for you. Okay? You have to try. You have to search for ways. Okay? So one way is move your physical body, dance, or sing happy songs. um, walk, release it with nature, or other people would shout, and if they shout or hit their pillow, they release the energy. So do what it takes to just to make sure that your emotional body is vibrating at a high level. Okay, now let's go to the spiritual body. The spiritual body, this is where your super consciousness is. This is where God's love, God's grace, everything related to the heavens, to the universe is related. Um, how do you maintain a higher vibration in your spiritual body? One is by praying. Another one is staying silent and still. Another one is, well, of course, meditating is also there. Connecting to your angels, to your guides, that would bring your spiritual body up. Okay, so there are different ways on how you can maintain um, a healthy spiritual body. And it's all related to your relationship with God, with the heavens, with the divinity. No matter what religion you have, as long as you are spiritual and you are connecting to that God spark within you, to that divinity within you, then you're okay. Okay? So all these four, when all these four bodies are vibrating at a higher energy, then you could actually tell yourself that you are whole and complete. Okay? I am not saying that being whole and complete is um, the end result, okay? Because being a whole person is just the first step of your journey. The next step is, what actions do I take to transform my life, or to allow myself to flourish in this life? Okay, so those are the next things. So once you have that clarity and inner peace, just because you're maintaining a higher vibration in all four bodies together, then that's the start of the life that you want to have, to lead. Okay. So this is where beingness comes together. Beingness is your persona, is your entire person. How do you ensure that all four bodies are balanced and truly integrated into your beingness? Okay. Um, I am sure you guys have heard of the 21-day habit. I mean, 21 days to form a habit. Okay. Now, it takes 21 days for you guys to have this habit that would enter your person, that would be anchored into your beingness. So, this is your entire person. Okay. And when you are as whole as you can be, when your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body are truly integrated, and you are so sure of who you are, what you can do, what your capabilities are, then you have a healthy intrapersonal relationship. You love yourself, you respect yourself, you honor yourself. That is your intrapersonal relationship with yourself, because we are human beings and part of our nature is to relate. So how do we see ourselves? How do we feel about ourselves? So this is our intrapersonal relationship with ourselves. Now, for most people, they don't really see themselves as good persons. They don't see themselves as persons who are confident. They don't see themselves as someone that they could look up. Okay? Let me tell you that that's just the mind deceiving you, because God created you perfectly. And I refuse to believe that something that God created doesn't have any good thing about themselves. There is something. So you have to break that programming in your mind, to break that conditioning that you have, so that you could actually be who you are meant to be and have that healthy intrapersonal relationship with yourself. Because the thing is, it's normal for us to relate to other people. Okay? The next level is the interpersonal. That means this is us, our beingness, relating to another person. It could be me as a daughter relating to my mother, me as an employee relating to my employer, me as a wife relating to my husband. So it's dynamic. The way I see the other person is actually a mirror of me. If I see something lacking in that other person, then I see myself as lacking as well. Okay? But if I see the good things in the other person, then that means I see the good things in myself. Okay? Because it's me, the God source in me, recognizing the God source in another person. That's the law of mirroring. Okay, when we are whole and complete, when we have a healthy relationship of who we are, of we have that sense of self, that self-care, self-love, and we don't allow ourselves to bring ourselves down. Okay, so that's a healthy relationship, intrapersonal relationship within ourselves. And when that is really healthy, you can actually go out into the world and have healthy relationships, be it interpersonal with another person or metapersonal, how we see society, how we see our communities. Okay? So it always starts within the self. It always starts within the self. It don't point fingers anymore to other people. When you point your finger to other people, that's usually a sign that you have to go back within yourself and check, okay, what's going on. That's actually the practice of being mindful and aware. You catch yourself all the time. You don't allow yourself to bring yourself down. So when you are fully integrated in the four bodies, you're actually being present. Okay, when you're being present, you're very clear with who you are, and you are at a constant state of peace and happiness. That is being present. The present, okay, when we say present, we actually have the past included in the present. The future is also included in the present. How does this happen? Okay, because in a normal thinking, I mean, a normal person would think that the past is past, present is present, future is future. They're not really this one and the same thing. But if you are fully present, you would recognize that the past is also included in the present. Whatever happened in the past, it made you who you are right now. And I'm not saying that you identify yourself with your past mistakes or your past achievements, because you are definitely bigger than the achievements, bigger than the mistakes that you had before. What I'm saying is that the past made you who you are right now. So you carry your past in your present. And the past is actually not the problem. It's your attitude towards what happened in the past. The problem is actually how you perceive yourself because of what happened in the past. Not seeing the good that resulted from the past. Because if you think about it, there's really no mistakes. It may be, you may have gone through a very hurtful and painful past, but then it doesn't identify you. It doesn't really define you, but it brought out the best in you. And the best of you is right here and now. This is your present. And when you are fully present in the moment, you the actions that you take right now will bring you towards your future. Okay? So the future is a concept that's quite far, but if you take actions right now, your actions right now would actually bring you closer to the future. So that's why both past and future are actually integrated into the present. And it's very, very, very important for you to be present at all times. When we say present, um, it's actually being present in God's time. There's a Greek term for this. It's kairos. Well, I have the Ignatian spirituality background coming from a Jesuit education. So I frequently hear kairos from my their theology teachers or spiritual directors. Kairos is God's time compared to chronos, which is um, the usual time that okay pass now. We're just going through the clock, the Roman clock. So that's chronos. It's just the time. But when we talk about kairos, it's not about the measurement of time. It's not about the quantity of time. Kairos is about God's time. It's about the quality of time. Are you, how do you feel about your time right now? How do you spend your time right now? Do you feel good right now? Because right now is Kairos. You can actually put quality into how you experience your present right here, right now, in this moment. You could have a good quality of time spent right now. And when you are fully present, you get to be very grateful with everything that you have. Okay? Being fully present means that you are imbibing peace, that you are imbibing happiness. And that is your true nature. We are not sent here by God to be punished in this 3D or in this human life. We are here to prosper. We are here to be happy. We are here to be at peace. We are here to evolve. And sometimes it may not be as easy as we want it to be, but there are always opportunities for happiness, for joy, for love, for prosperity to flourish. There's always that. When we try to ignore the pain, you get to ignore the happiness of life as well because you're no longer living, you're no longer being present. And having that quality, that kairos, that quality of time, being in the here, being in now, being in this present moment, that means we get to experience the wide array of what life has to offer, be it pain, be it happiness. Because if we ignore pain, then we get to ignore happiness. But if we embrace happiness, the pain is there. But because of happiness, because of all the good things that there is in life, then allow the pain to transform you. Bring that inner strength out. You'd be surprised with what you can do because the universe, God, source creator will not give you things that you cannot handle. You are here for a reason. So make peace with your past. Be happy being in the present. And you are in your mission right now. Wherever you are right now, that is your mission. That is your purpose. Just accept it. No matter how simple it is, it's not as simple as what other people think. Okay. An example I could think of is, okay, most Filipinos, when you ask them, oh, what's the work of your mom? Some of them would say, housewife lang. Okay? They always use the word lang as if being a housewife is not something important. Lang is, okay, it's quite small. nothing important. Okay? But the thing is, being a housewife, being a mother, that's a very important role in our society. And if you are a mom, that is your mission. That is your purpose to to shine your light so that your children, your family can grow, can evolve with you. And that is a very important role. Okay, so that is what is being present. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too big. You are just enough. And you are in the present. You're here. You're now. You're feeling that moment. You're having that quality of life in this moment. And when you are feeling that way and when you are maintaining that space, then you enter into gratefulness. Because when you are grateful, you know that everything will be provided. Everything is provided. I'd like to share something that one of my spiritual teachers told me early this year. My gosh, early this year. After sharing my issues with him, he told me, you know, Michelle, you're such an ingrate. And I was like, I was so shocked to be called an ingrate because I praise God, I pray to Him, I meditate, I have a healthy relationship with God, and to be called an ingrate, that's totally off my radar. I don't align to being an ingrate. And when he saw my shocked expression, he was like, "Yes, you are an ingrate because if you are truly grateful, then you wouldn't feel that you're lacking something." I was like, "Okay, that's true. All right." Um, he has a point there, and that was a very valuable lesson. When we are in the space of gratefulness, there is no space for lack. Everything is provided. We may feel pain, we may feel hurt, but then there's always something to soothe that pain, to make that hurt go away. Because God, the universe, the source creator will always provide for something that would diminish the pain. The thing here is that don't allow yourself to be attached and identified to the pain. You have to let it also let it. When it comes, it has to go out of your system. Don't let it stay stuck in your space. Don't let it stay stuck in your body. That is what being present and being grateful really means. So being here and being in the now, that would help you be clear with who you are, what you want to be. And those would give you the steps that would help you transform your life and help you prosper. Okay? Because we're here because God wants us to prosper. Okay? He is not the God who would intentionally want us to suffer. Suffering is an illusion. Diba? That's what Buddha tells us. That's the wisdom he imparted to humanity. Suffering is an illusion because suffering is your mind projecting it. It's what your mind wants to project. Okay? Um, for some of you, this may not resonate yet, but for those who could understand because you have experienced it, you will know that suffering is really not meant to be in this life. There is so much joy, there is so much peace, there's so much opportunities. And if you're in the present and you're truly grateful, you can co-create your life. You can transform and prosper in this reality. Okay. Right? So before I end, I'd like to share my vision board. This has been my vision board for the past 5 years. Okay. And it hasn't changed really. Because the things that I ask for from God is really to have that wisdom, to have that love, and to have a sense of power. Not power in the sense of greed or, you know, not that thing to be abused of, but a sense of power of sovereign, of being sovereign to my entire self. That I have dominion over myself. That everything that happened to me, I know that I allowed it and I take accountability for it. And because I know that I allowed it, I won't allow it anymore. Okay, so that's the power that I'm asking right now. So this is my vision board. I am still single, but then I have a desire to have a partner who is soul aligned to me and to have children of my own. And you know, in this journey of being awakened, of going through enlightenment, of having that higher consciousness, I can see myself growing in wisdom, in love, and in power as well. Because one cannot live without the other. There's always too much power is prone to abuse. Too much love, well, too much compassion would, you know, um, people can tend, people tend to trample you if you have too much compassion. Okay, too much wisdom, too much knowledge. That's already too much mind. Okay, so everything has to be balanced and integrated, and we all have different levels of love, wisdom, and passion and power. And it is my desire for you to be gifted with these gifts as well. And as I end this webinar, I am sending you these blessings. Because yes, I am also an energy healer and I can channel energies. So by the grace of God, by the grace of Supreme God, may you be blessed and healed and be gifted with the grace of love, power, and wisdom as it is appropriate, ever growing, ever evolving, ever expanding in the space of miracles, answered prayers, here and now, God's victory in faith, trust, and confidence. Amen, amen, amen. And it's done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. So these are my social media pages. I have my Instagram and Facebook page. So you could just type at michellebradley.ph and you could find my accounts. I intend to have a 4-week program, which I'll start this coming new moon. It's good to start when you know when the planets are aligned or when the energies are really conducive for change. And I'm offering this 4-week program to those who are present here. If you're interested to know more about it, just send me a message. So again, that's my handle, michellebrandy.ph. Just send me a message if you want to join. Since this is my pilot webinar, thank you to Online Team Community. So I'm giving this program at a very low rate. Okay, it's just 1,000 pesos, and we get to meet once a week for the next 4 weeks. And this would help you gain more clarity and have more inner peace. So that, at least 21 days, diba? For you to form that habit so that the things that you'd want to happen would enter your beingness. So this is what I'm offering right now. And we start by next week, May 22, because next week is already the new moon, and we end at full moon. Isn't that great? Karen, you're on mute.
I'm mute. I'm asking, when is the full moon? Yun
Full
talaga yung
moon.
interest ko.
It's on June.
Ang galing. Na talagang
May,
sakto. That you
May
start ng new moon
yes.
and then you end on a full moon.
Actually, new moon here in Manila is on May 23. But we could already feel the energies 2 days before. So we could start on May 22, which is a Friday. So the schedule will still be dependent on the participants. Of course, if it were just me, I'd rather choose morning. But I know that morning may not work with others, so we'll do a votation. So just let me know if you'd want to join. It's just 1,000 pesos because this is the pilot program that I'm offering.
Can you
And
tell us what's going to happen in the class? Is this a group call or a
yeah,
webinar?
it will be a group call, parang webinar rin, ganito, like Zoom. And there will be sharings, of course, and there will be topics to be discussed. It's being in the present. So where are you right now? Where you are right now? What are the highlights of your past? Where do you want to be? What's stopping you from going there? And at the last week, at the fourth session, you have to share the action plan that you intend to take so that you can transform and prosper in your lives.
So
But
it's like,
I am going to help you gain more clarity and have more inner peace. But of course, the transformation and prospering, that is all on you because it depends on your actions.
so you're going to coach them in a way, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
the good thing about this is that it's a group thing. And I always believe in synchronicity.
Great,
The
great,
people
great.
who would join, I'm sure they're meant to be there. You're on mute again,
Oo
Karen.
nga. Sorry, I completely agree. The people here are saying, please let us know if you have questions for Michelle. Nelly Belly saying, interesting. Um, Thank you from Carla. Marita said thank you. Also, Catherine. Meron ba kayong tanong? Do you have questions? JL said thank you. Do you have questions for Michelle or we're still on this call?
Yes.
And please send her a message. Spiritual hypnotherapy and counseling by Michelle Benny, both on IG and FB, if you want to be part of the class. It's next week na, March 21. Yeah. And then you can learn more how to be present and how to be grateful. Or you can share what you
Karen,
learned.
are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Or
here.
ako ba yung nag-ano?
Ikaw yung nawala. Ay, sorry. I'm
I
still
thought I
here.
was I thought I was the one who got lost.
I'm still here. So there.
Okay. So
Um,
it's probably my internet that's
it's probably the
unstable.
internet. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
everyone for being here. Hopefully you can join Michelle. If you've learned a lot from this class, I'm sure you can learn more if you go to the group call. So it's going to be a coaching program. So that's March 21 next week. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a May 21. That's a Thursday.
It's May 22.
At
What
the
is
Friday.
what is
Yes,
May?
it
Yeah.
will be a Friday. Because the
Yeah.
new moon here in Manila is actually on May 23. Then it's
Okay.
around 1 a.m. So we'll
Oh.
do the session on the 22nd.
So
So
it's
that's
yeah.
you could actually feel the height of the new moon energies. And on June, the full moon, that's actually a super full moon as well. So it's really a good time to manifest.
For those people who don't understand the meaning of the moons, the new moon and the full moon, can you please explain?
Actually, I only follow the new moon and the full moon. It's only those two.
Oo,
Because
anong
during during
significance?
during the new moon, that's when you can start new things.
Oo.
And during the full moon, you're harvesting. So
Yes.
whenever I start with projects or when I want to do things, I always look, oh, okay, is it new moon? Will the energies be conducive for this change?
Well, that's true.
Because
Kasi everything naman
yes,
is energy.
yes, because
Everything is
it's also
energy,
energy.
right?
So you have to make sure that the energy of your environment or of the earth is also conducive. Like
Right.
during right now, let's say right now during this quarantine, everyone's at home. It's quite quiet.
That's
Everyone's
true.
praying because when times are uncertain, everyone, remembers God or goes back into their faith. So everyone's
True.
meditating, everyone's praying, and that collective prayers, that collective consciousness brings up the vibration of the earth, and it makes this space, this atmosphere very conducive for awakening, conducive for reaching the higher consciousness. It's all good things. So
Totoo.
as there may be bad things, but always see the good things as well.
Speaking of collective energy, and I'll share lang, Michelle, speaking of collective energy, every Sunday, I don't know if you've seen online collective meditation, but every Sunday we have collective meditation. So this Sunday it's going to be in Tagalog. It's collective meditation for people who are confused or balisa. That's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we have another thing, because there in the online healing community, there's a lot of people actually helping everyone stay calm, spread calm. People like Michelle, people are healers, teachers. So this Sunday, there's a free yoga class with Lay naman, Santa Maria. So please go to online healing community, or I'll share the screen with you. So we have a lot of activities for everyone the whole week. So we have webinars, we have collective meditation. So you can go here and just look at the events. So you can see all the events. So this is the Mommy and Me Yoga. So you can just register there for free. Basically that. So do you have other questions for Michelle? Or you have fee? Interesting. May I know the fee and exact date schedule, Miss Michelle? From Carla Gumpal.
It's only 1,000 pesos.
Uh,
O, di ba? Sobrang mura for a 4 session.
Session, yeah.
4 session. Tapos may sharing pa. And syempre, 'di ba, when it comes to group sessions, you'll also meet other people who are also journeying with you, and you would also get that support.
Ako, feeling ko iba yung dynamics talaga pag group. Michelle? Okay. Please
God,
go. Iba
very
yung energy, yung group, ng group. Are you
ano,
still? I'm saying, iba yung energy ng
less.
group. Iba yung dynamic. I was saying, iba yung dynamic at saka iba yung energy ng group.
Oo.
Yeah. Okay. I think if you don't have any questions,
Mm-mm.
is there
Yes.
anything else that you wanna tell them, Michelle?
Way.
Last, please specify the exact date. It's going to be on May 22. No, Michelle? Hello? I'm not sure if Michelle is still there. Michelle is still there. Michelle, are you still there? Okay. Parang, I'm not sure if she's still there. But Carla, it's going to be May 22. She'll start May 22 and it's going to be every week after that. I'll also email you guys. Tarot reading. Actually, there's somebody who wants to do tarot reading. If you're interested, I can connect with him. Tarot reading, the one who does it is Rob Ruben. I can ask him to do that. But tarot reading is not really Michelle's specialization. I can ask. Thank you also, Carla. I can ask somebody else to do the tarot reading. But I don't think Michelle doesn't do tarot reading. Okay, do you have other questions? Rob actually wants to do tarot reading. I can arrange for that. Nelly. You're welcome. You have other questions? Nana. Sige, hopefully, just please, like, online healing community on Facebook, we'll put everything there. At saka let us know. Like, thank you for letting us know what you need. Tarot, if it's something that you want, I can arrange probably a webinar on that with Rob. Yeah. He's really interested. He's like the tarot specialist, he said, from in the Philippines. So there. And then Michelle Brandy's class will be on May 21. Hopefully you can join yoga this Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon and Sunday morning our collective meditation. Thank you everyone for being in this call. Let us know if please give us feedback if there's other classes that you wanna have. Okay. Oh, si Carla din. Sige, sige. I'm not so interested in tarot reading eh. So I didn't book that class. But Rob has been asking me for a time. I'm not sure if everybody's ready for that kasi. So, sige. Thank you for asking for tarot. Sige, I'll ask Rob to do that as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you, Carla and Nelly. Michelle, last words for everybody on the call.
Just be happy and at peace.
True.
And thank you for joining us, even for those who have already left. Okay. I know there were people coming in and out, so thank you for joining us, and I I bless you with infinite love, life, and light. And God bless all of you.
Thank you, Michelle, for the webinar. It's beautiful. And hopefully you can join. If you want to learn more from her, please join her course. Okay, thank you. See you again. See you soon. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
bye
God
everyone. Thank
bless.
you.
Thank you for
Bye,
joining.
Bea. Bye, Nelly.
Ayan. Please get in touch with her. Okay. Bye, everyone. Ayan. Ay, Michelle, can we talk a bit before you go?
Alin?
Can we talk a bit?
Of
Before,
course.
yay, thank you. Bye, everyone. I'll remove everyone na, ha? Sorry. So, I just need to talk to Michelle first. Thank you. Okay. Uy, ang mura ng class mo, ha? Ikaw ang pinakamurang class ever.
Hindi, it's a pilot lang
Introductory.
naman.
Oo nga. Pero
Oo,
it's
kasi
good.
it's I want to get a feel